The Justin Robert Young Podcast, brought to you as always by the people that pay us at PayJuryDaily.com. Oh, welcome. A new week. A new sun has dawned upon us all. Welcome, everybody. It's your old pal, Justin Robert Young. Another week of Jury Daily here for you. I'm very excited to be with you, and I hope that you're excited to be with me. We got a lot to talk about. I got to answer a challenge, man. Somebody came for me. Somebody came. By the end of this podcast, the podcast that you're listening to right now, you will hear somebody come for my head, and I am going to clap back at them in a devastating manner. All right? I just want to let you know that somebody came for me, and I came with receipts. Oh, I'm so excited. I am going to decimate the disgusting charge that was levied against me this weekend. But before we do that, we're going to talk about Venom. Venom comes out this Friday, and I have to say that I'm not very excited. Now, a movie comes out and somebody's not very excited for it. No big whoop, you might be saying. I'm not very excited for Venom. But here's where you and I might either be the same or different. We would be different if Venom wasn't your favorite comic book character growing up. Now, there's a lot of complicated elements to that, and I'm still kind of parsing through them in my head, which is why I decided it would make a rich topic on the show. But Venom was always my favorite because, as many moody young edgelords, I was very drawn to a couple things, both external and internal, about the character. Number one, he looks cool. He's bigger. He's more muscly than Spider-Man. And he has the idea of a sludgy sort of action on his superpowers is exciting. It's something that looks really rad. Venom also has a very characteristic look of being sort of a large, gigantic, terrifying, evil Spider-Man, specifically with, like, long, sharp teeth. I love every shade of Venom. I love evil Venom. I love lethal protector Venom. I just love Venom. Internally, I've always said this. Whenever there's the question of, if you had a superpower, what would it be? I've always said the symbiote for which Venom is Venom, that makes Venom Venom. The alien being that has come down to Earth, binds with humans, and lives in a symbiosis, with the idea being that the human gets superpowers. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the legend, I don't know what happens in this movie, but in the comics, Spider-Man finds the symbiote in a box, I think, somewhere during the Secret War, comes back down to Earth, and now all of a sudden he just has this cool black outfit. Slowly realizes that this black outfit is indeed a living alien being, and winds up freeing himself from the living alien being by standing inside of a church bell, because sonic rays are really the only way that it can be affected. The symbiote then finds Spider-Man real-life foe, like a Peter Parker foe, rather, in Eddie Brock. Big meathead. And what's really I love about that story is, from the symbiote's perspective, the symbiote made a friend, was rejected by the friend, and then wound up making a better friend. Eddie Brock, if you are only going to take the symbiote's POV, Eddie Brock is just a cool guy that, like, hey, I hung out with this one guy. He was a total dick knob. And now I get to hang out with you. This is cool. We're friends. One might say that our relationship is very symbiotic. Now, obviously, Eddie Brock is a damaged person. The symbiote has a little bit of a bloodlust to it. It creates some challenging issues that they then work either for or against whether or not you want to make Venom a bad guy or a good guy. But what I've always said about the symbiote is that it's not only your superpower, it's not only whatever wardrobe that you'd like, but also he's your best friend. He just, he talks to you. You get to have your own best friend without talking to anybody. Oh, I always loved it. I always do love it. And now a movie's coming out. You had Venom in the last. Venom basically got the Bane treatment. You know how in Batman and Robin they just sort of jammed Bane into the last like third of the movie. He was just like a muscle-bound henchman. So they basically did that in the Spider-Man 3. It was just, it wasn't great. I didn't like it. I mean, that movie had a lot of problems, but that was one of them. It, of course, wound up giving us the almost universally reviled Peter Parker as evil symbiote Peter Parker dancing his way through, Manhattan. Which I did see a fun mashup with the new Kanye single, I Love It, which I thought was pretty good. But now we get a proper movie. And it's probably going to make a lot of money because Venom's a very popular character. And if you're going to have somebody be Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, you can do a lot worse than Tom Hardy. The only problem is, and it doesn't look like a very good story. It doesn't look like a very good story. It doesn't at all. It looks like a bad story. Eddie Brock's a good guy. He's trying to get to the bottom of something, and then it's a very push and pull with the symbiote. So, and also, let me just say this, and this might be me getting old. Is this me getting old, yes or no? I know that the creature design they went with on the movie Venom is possibly the most popular. But it's my least favorite. I like a more reserved Venom. I kind of always have. I've always liked a more reserved Venom. I don't like the super, roided out, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, open veins thing. I don't like the million teeth thing. He looks like Mr. Boogie Woogie Man, which I guess does kind of like fit into the Halloween season. Somebody needs to do a mashup of scenes from this movie to I'm Mr. Boogie Woogie Man. But, and also the tongue, like, I know that the tongue is a signature element of Venom, but to me, it's best when it is used sparingly. It's like when the alien does the little, like alien, the other alien, like, comes out of the mouth. Like, you do that in a very creepy moment, and you make it look super creepy. Is it Oogie Boogie, not Boogie Woogie? It might be. Oh, I don't know. Are you guys excited for this? And it may, or like, I guess it's gonna plug into the Spider-Man universe that they set up in Homecoming a little bit. I don't even know if I'm gonna see it, which is sad because my favorite, maybe my favorite comic book run growing up was Maximum Carnage. And Maximum Carnage is where Spider-Man and Venom have to team up, because if Venom is a bad guy who was made worse by the symbiote that eventually realizes that there are ways that he can direct that pain and anger positively, Carnage is a literal serial murderer who winds up getting a part of the symbiote bound to him and now becomes just an actual super no redeeming qualities awful bad guy that now Spider-Man and Venom have to team up to take down. That was my favorite as a kid. Loved Maximum Carnage. I would love for Maximum Carnage to be a movie. And I think that if you're setting up Venom as his own solo franchise, there's really no Venom villains other than Carnage. But I don't think we're going to get it. I think this movie might suck a butt. Or even worse, it'll make a lot of money while sucking a butt, and then we'll just get a really bad Venom Maximum Carnage movie in 3 years. In fact, somebody please mark this down when they announce the Venom Maximum Carnage movie in like 6 months, so I can come back and say, your boy called it. This is going to be a very poorly received movie that's going to make enough money that we're going to get that real quick. Maximum Carnage is going to be the sequel. I'm just saying it. Write it in the sky and gossamer tears. Let's go ahead and get into your emails. I don't know if I've screwed this up recently, and I might have said the old email, but you are sending all JuRY Daily emails to jurydaily@gmail.com. Not the old email that we used to say. I'm not going to even say it again because I don't want to get people confused. But if you're sending JuRY Daily emails to the old email, then it's a pain in the ass for me to forward it. Send them to jurydaily@gmail.com. Killtop is calling me a hypocrite, and I don't blame him. He says, remember JuRY years ago saying, at least they're making movies about your favorite character. I have always said that more versions of everything are good. It's why I'm pro remake. It's why I'm pro reimagining. It's why I'm pro re-whatevering. There's always a reason to tell a good story over again, even if they're bad. I'm just saying this isn't my speed. This isn't my speed. Mew writes in, I can't speak for classic rock stations, but every Christmas here in the UK, BBC Radio 1 and Capital FM, the two biggest radio stations in the country, play the unedited version of Fairy Tale in New York by the Pogues, featuring the line, "You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy F-slur." I've never understood how they could get away with it for so long, even to this day. If it helps, I'm white and queer. So, I think I've always worried about that, or wondered about that too. I think it's because it's only a Christmas song. And for whatever reason, we just we're more willing to put Christmas songs in amber and play them as they were than we are for other things. I think partly because nostalgia is such a big part of Christmas. And so you can say you're more willing to suspend your disbelief to say, all right, you might hear this song 3 times a year. You understand that this is, two drunks yelling at each other. I think we're more willing to make that bargain than I'm going to hear a song with the F-slur in it every Friday at 5 o'clock on a classic rock radio station. Thor writes, There was a station in the Bay Area called KOME. One DJ in particular used to play songs like Money for Nothing unedited. His name was Dennis Erectus. Rest in peace. The motto of the station was, "Don't touch that dial. It's comb on it." It was high school radio fun. Thank you very much, Thor. Andrew, the keen archaeologist, writes, Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day is that example you were looking for. I asked whether or not there was a openly gay singer who had a song with that with the F slur in it. He says that Billy Joe from Green Day is the example, as he is openly bisexual. Weirdly coincidental that you're doing this segment so close to Bi Awareness Day. He then asked for the angry email voice. Censoring his song in LA radio is bi erasure. Thank you very much, Andrew. Another Jay Martin asks for a big Billy Fusillo style huge happy birthday to his lovely wife, musical chemist, a.k.a. Steph, who's turning 30 today, Monday, October 1st. She is PhD Vito, so just PH and then DeVito, like Danny DeVito, on Twitter. She would love if JuRY Daily listeners would wish her some birthday wishes. Happy birthday to Steph, musical chemist. D-Brew writes, damn it, Justin. Today, in the spirit of your Money for F-Slur Redux, I decided to hop on over to YouTube to listen to Money for Nothing again for the first time in years. In the comments, I found that somebody called out other songs that have aged poorly, like the Rolling Stones song Brown Sugar. When I was a kid, my dad used to put on the Stones' Sticky Fingers album, play it all the way through while he cooked dinner. Brown Sugar, which is the first song on the album, is fantastic musically. I have many great memories of dancing in the living room to this song while waiting for mac and cheese to boil. Then I looked at the lyrics tonight. Let's just say it's not a song I'd choose for karaoke. This brings me back to high thoughts that I said in before. To listen to any music, you have to rewind everything to the time it was recorded, even if that time is right now. JuRY Daily has been my commute home podcast since its inception. It greatly enhances the drive. Keep up the good work. See you on election night. Well, thank you very much, D-Brew. Trench writes, if there's a song called I'm Not Your F-Slur, would the radio edit be called I'm Not Your Ferret? I would love to hear that. All right, you ready for this? Here we go. Justin, my namesake, does this to me. My namesake. Justin wrote in requesting the angry email voice. It's bad enough that I had to listen to your total bastardization of the opening guitar riff of Money for Nothing over and over and over again, but then you dismiss the rest of Dire Straits' oeuvre out of hand. Have you watched the series finale of The Americans? Then let me tell you what was playing when you inevitably started to cry. Brother in Arms, the track for the track of the album on which Money for Nothing appears. It's beautiful, it's haunting, and you owe that song an apology. Also, you failed to mention that Sting is the one singing I Want My MTV. It's not relevant to the discussion. It's just something that one must mention when talking about the song. Seriously, though, you're usually pretty good on music for, I assume, a non-musician. Have you just not heard the opening riff for a while? Justin, I'm going to let you know that I do indeed take exactly what you said very personally. I do. I do take it very, very personally. And here's why. I, number one, did not dismiss Dire Straits' whole oeuvre. I very much like Dire Straits. In fact, I went out of my way to say that Sultans of Swing and A Walk of Life are two songs that I personally think are better than Money for Nothing, despite the fact that I like all of it. Also, I mentioned repeatedly that Sting was the lead singer of, or was the one singing, I Want My TV. So I don't know where you're getting that I did not do that. But really what I found the most offensive was that you, Justin, would challenge my mouth guitar. I have a very good mouth guitar, and I got so incensed that you would challenge that I bastardized that riff, that I went back, and I'm going to now risk getting this flagged and taken down on YouTube so I can show you that I play a mean mouth guitar. So here we go. This is the clip that you are referring to while comparing it to the actual guitar riff. Here we go. Before the fucking guitar even breaks in. Like that. There we go. All right. So that right there, that's already, I'm killing it right there. That there's no way that doesn't sound like the first doesn't sound like the second. Like, look, I mean, come on. It's basically identical. Even breaks in. Come on. Oh, you Judas is in the chat. All right, not enough for you? How about this one? Like, that first guitar riff is coming in as you're washing your hands. Flush. Come on. That's exactly, that is almost identical. As a mouth guitar, I defy you to do better. Here we go. This is the second one more time. Flush. You guys, this is, all right. Mouth guitar trial by combat. Did I succeed or did I fail? Are you on Team JuRY or are you on Team Justin? That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking for everybody to send their mouth guitars. I'm saying one more time in its totality. Before the fucking guitar even breaks in. Like, that first guitar riff is coming in as you're washing your hands. Flush. Honestly, if you're not rolling with me, then we're not actually friends. That is all right. Let me know, Team Justin, Team JuRY. You want to email in? Go ahead and send an email to jurydaily@gmail.com or leave a comment right here on the YouTube. Team JuRY, Team Justin. Justin means I failed. JuRY means I won. Let me know. Fail or pass. In fact, here we go. Fail or pass. Just email in or leave a comment. Fail or pass down below. I want to thank all of our patrons. It's Patreon Day. It's the first of the month. Thank you to everybody who supported us, but specifically our producers, The Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, Will, John H. Meyer, James, Bill, and Dustin. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Justin R. Young. Hashtag join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Folks, that about wraps it up for us. Till tomorrow. Please. Don't. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.